Hi, today we're reading from Front Desk by Kelly Yang, Chapter 43. Chapter 43 begins on page 185. Hank was shocked by our offer. Hide me? Are you sure? Yes, my parents said. We do it all the time for the immigrants from China. We just have to be careful. What if we get caught? Hank asked. We won't tell if you don't tell, my mom said. We helped Hank clean out his stuff and move into another room. There was no way he could keep staying in room 12. Mr. Yao might go and check in there. He had to switch rooms, but not with so much stuff. Hank had a lot of junk that he had accumulated over the years, so whatever he decided wasn't essential, we chucked. We moved his tomato plant to the pool. The rest we moved into my closet. When he was able to get his bare essentials down to one small bag, my dad handed him the key to room 5. It'll only be for a little while, Hank said, just until I get back on my feet. He was adamant about finding another job. On that front, he wasn't having a ton of luck, though. The problem wasn't finding an open position. It was that he didn't have a reference letter from his old employer. What's a reference letter? I asked him before I left for the night. He didn't seem like he wanted to talk about it much, so he wouldn't say exactly, just that it was important and he didn't have it. Later that week, I asked Hank if there was anything I could do to help him find a job, but again, he batted me away. Look, if it was simple, I would have asked you already, but it's not. It's complicated, he said. What's so complicated about it? I asked him. He shook his head. You're just a kid. You wouldn't understand, he said, which hurt a lot. I wanted to say to Hank, no, you don't understand. You don't understand what it's like to have to hold in your pee and to not make a sound when you're in the bathroom and the popular girls walk in and start talking about you. I crossed my arms at Hank. Try me, I said. He sighed. Most places won't hire you unless you have a letter from your old boss saying how good you were, and I don't have that, he said, frowning. Well, could you get it? I asked him. He shook his head. No, I already tried. He paused for a second and added, and that's not even the biggest problem. What's the biggest problem? I asked. The biggest problem is that on top of everything else, now I have a criminal conviction. His fight with the guy who beat up my mom meant he had a record now. No employer wanted to touch him. I can't even hide it, he said. All they have to do is run a criminal record check, and boom, there it is. So tell them the truth, I said. Tell them that you were defending my mom. They'll never believe that, he said. Why not? Hank shook his head. Because I'm not like you, Mia. People look at you and they see a nice, sweet Chinese girl. What do they see when they see you? What do they see when they see you? I asked. He looked at his feet. A criminal, Hank said. No, I said firmly. Don't say that. Why do you think I took the plea? I know what the verdict would be if we went to trial. People look at me and see guilty. I shook my head furiously. No, no, I kept repeating. Hank got quiet. There are some things, Mia, that no matter how hard you try, you'll never fully understand. As Hank looked into my eyes, I realized there were reference letters and mean girls. And then there were other things on a whole other level of you don't understand. And that's the end of chapter 43.